Welcome, everybody. This is
the House
of Kings. So today we have a special guest. Not only he's a husband, friend, cousin to us, not by blood, but he's family. He's a brother, business owner. He's tackled so many different things. And he's a special person that we wanted to do this episode with. He was the first one we thought about doing an episode with.
Definitely.
And I want to introduce, there's a lot more, model, but the model didn't really get far. I want to introduce you, Anthony Baez, to House of Kings.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you.
For sure. Yeah, manito.
Manito. Anthony,
Yeah, manito.
I want to also say thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. It's always been a pleasure. I mean, you know, the first day we started talking, the first day we met, we clicked.
Yeah, for sure.
And since then, you've been like a brother to me. And I just want, for you to tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about your background, your story.
So, I mean, I was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. I came down kind of like you guys, younger from up north. I was like, should I pause that?
Oh, you're good.
You good? Keep going, bro. I was 7 turning 8 back in 1999. Came to West Palm Beach, and I thought at that time like I didn't want to move. I loved Rhode Island and stuff like that, but that went to the wind because I don't think no one could get me out of here now. All my family's here, all my friends here, and I've traveled a lot because of my career, and I can't see myself living anywhere else. But yeah, I've been here since '99. I started cutting hair at a young age, around 12, 13 years old. Kind of unexpected. I had family that were already in the beauty business. They were barbers and stylists and stuff like that. And I was really close with my cousin. His name's Jerry. And he, cut my hair. And I saw him growing up, starting cutting hair as well. And I liked what he was doing. He had friends over, and family. And I liked that he was creating something from nothing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And making how they looked in the mirror and just like the freshness, the process of someone getting a haircut. And I was like, damn, that looks cool. I wonder if I could do that. I gave my mom a big show to buy me some $13 clippers from Walmart. She didn't want to. She's like, ay, muchacho, pa' qué?
And let me tell you, I know your mother. Your mother is a hard. Yeah. She's a hard sell.
And I wasn't an easy son either. Like I was, one of those raising my voice to my mom and all that. And obviously, I know it's disrespectful and not great, but
So yeah. Jerry's the one that got you started with the cutting hair.
Jerry and I had an aunt too. May she rest in peace. She passed away. But her name's Teresa, Amy's mom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was like she was cutting hair. She actually gave me my first professional outliners, and she actually taught me how to do double edges at that time. Double edges were heavy down here in South Florida. But little things like that. And then she has a son, my cousin Alexi too, that so it was just around me a lot. And then when I like doing something or when I get into something and I click with other people that they know what they're doing, it's that's all I want to do. That's what Jay I clicked to, because aside from him being a good person, it's I know a little bit about the camera stuff and all that. I can defend myself. You know what I mean?
So you had a good support when you wanted to do the barbering and
with my dad. My dad always supported me with anything I wanted to do. My mom, she always was the one that you got to go to school, you got to get a professional job. She'd never seen barbering as a real job, even though. So I was 12, 13 years old cutting hair. out of my parents' garage. And then at 15, I went to work at a real barbershop because I had some issues with the HOA. A lot of people were like, I don't want this kid cutting out the thing, making a business.
All the
I
traffic.
had people always in
All
and
the
out.
traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, they thought I was like doing something else, But yeah, at 15, I went to work in a barbershop. Still went to school and everything. And I would make as much as what my dad was making from his paychecks every 2 weeks. I would make it in a week.
Wow.
Still going to school, paying my booth rent, and everything, which my booth rent at that time was like $200, which now is like the same thing.
Is that when your mom kind of like respected it a little bit more?
No.
Still? Wow.
She even like
Even
when I was
just
like
drop a stack here, mommy. No, go to school.
even when I was still I paid my way through the little bit of college that I went to. It was like 2 years from that. And she wanted me to get a real job. So I was like, okay, let me see if I get a real job. My first real job that I applied for and everything was Chase. I was a teller for a good like 8 months.
Okay.
No
And-
way.
Yeah.
I can't see you doing that.
And then it was pretty easy. It was cool, whatever. But I was still cutting hair. So it was like what I would make in a week as a teller, because I think I was only getting paid like $11 an hour, working 30 hours a week. I would make that in an evening after work.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So I only did it to, for the benefits and whatever, because, a lot of people know, especially back then, a lot of barbers don't report or report what we're supposed to. Hope IRS is not seeing this.
Oh man,
But-
you just put
We'll block
everybody
them.
on
We'll block
blast.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
right.
get it
You
out.
put everybody on blast right now. They're gonna hate you.
Well, now it's a little bit different. Everyone paying
The
cards.
DM's gonna be blown up.
Yo,
Hey, yo.
they're gonna cancel his IG.
They're like, we heard.
Well, you started cutting since. and
Yeah, right?
It's a lot of
So
money.
you said your dad was making this much,
Yeah.
and then so
So you worked at Chase just to kind of like make your mom happy in a way.
yeah, and then like I was going to school too and whatever. So I stopped working at the shop, but I went back to the garage. And I was cutting people's hair and whatnot, and then Chase, the manager there, she had it in for me. She didn't like me at all from the beginning.
And that's hard to believe because you're a nice guy, bro. And I'm not saying it. I'm
She's
not trying to
probably not a
gas
nice
you.
person.
No, I'm not gaslighting
she-
you or anything.
yeah.
It's the truth. You know?
Yeah. Everyone gets along with him. That's what I'm saying. She's probably not a good
everybody-
person.
Well,
gets along.
the assistant manager was the one, which was like my boss, because the assistant manager was like head of the tellers, and the branch manager is the head of like the banker. Even though she oversees everything, but at that branch, at least it was more of the bankers. And the assistant manager was the one that was like, no, I want him, because the branch manager didn't want to hire me. She said that I lacked customers, like that I would lack customer service and like stuff like this. And she's like, are you crazy? He's a barber. You know what I mean? Like how he interacts with people every day. And like, imagine you had to handle like a screaming child and stuff like that. So it's like the assistant branch manager, she was like nice to me and like wanted me to work there and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the branch manager ended up getting fired anyways.
Wow.
After I left and everything. Because
The power of Anthony.
yeah, but
Don't mess with him.
no, not because of me. So she gave me an ultimatum. She was like, "Oh, either continue going to school or continue working here." I was like, "I already
Who did?
paid the branch manager,
Okay.
and I already paid for my semester." I'm like, "Are you gonna give me my money back? Because it's already late to get my money back." And she's like, "No, that's up to you." I was like, "Well, I guess I'm not working here no more." You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna continue going to school. It's like, so I went back to cutting hair and making money and stuff.
At the house though.
No, I went to a shop.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that was around 2012. And in 2013 is when I decided to, like, I went to some shops here and there, but I already had my clientele that, like, I was only going for appointments. I wasn't doing no walk-ins and stuff. And the shop that I went to, I didn't like. It was real tirao, real,
We're not
Ghetto.
saying no names.
yeah, not ghetto in that terms. It was just, like, unprofessional and unorganized.
It just wasn't run correctly.
Yeah, and it was a Spanish shop, so it was like the dude was running the mouth the whole day, not even music playing, and I was just like, bro, I can't do this. And so I found where I'm at now, the same location. So I've been at that location since 2013, and I started off as a little studio, right?
Okay.
And I was like at that time one of the first ones to do it. A lot of barbers, they were like, oh man, like you're gonna do that little suite and da da da. I'm like, yeah, like I got like it's the same thing as me cutting out a garage. You know what I mean? Like, and the location where it's at is not ideal, right? For a barbershop, you would think it's storefront, walk-ins and stuff like that. But it's like nowadays, everyone goes on Google. Everyone's online. So it's like, as long as your phone could take you there, like, it doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
just
mean?
to pause 1 second, it's so interesting you had the foresight to see that. Like, just to see the vision
Yeah.
in the beginning. And that's really cool. That's really crazy.
To what
'Cause
it came to now.
Because I remember we were talking about it, and I remember you're like, yo, I see this.
Yeah.
I remember that. And
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
damn.
it definitely, I could have gotten bigger to where it's at right now, but, you know, getting pulled left and right from into other little avenues, you lose foresight of that.
And
you know?
and to add on what you were saying, I've always said it. You know, when it comes to if you envision yourself doing something, if you feel out of place at one moment in time, like let's say now you feel out of place, but you envision yourself doing something, it's because you're meant for that. It's your dream. It's a dream, and you got to take that dream as a guide of your destination, of your purpose, and that in the beginning of everything, you envisioned yourself, right? And look at where you're at now.
Yeah, because it started smaller, then he expanded, then he added more to it.
Yeah.
When we all first went, it was a studio. It was
a
like,
small
whatever, a
little
chair, a glass, you could cut hair. It's cool. None of us knew the idea that he had in mind
I kind of
until I went and saw like,
no, I
damn.
kind of did because I remember he was slaying it out. But at that time, I didn't know a lot.
Yeah.
But now that
Well,
where I'm at, you know,
when I first went to
What was your goal when you first
that
bought
suite,
it?
I just wanted to work by myself.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have the visions of like, having other barbers or having a barber shop. I just wanted to be by myself. And then I saw the space. I was like, damn, I could add like
Two more
one or
chairs.
two
Yeah.
here, you know? And then from the suite that I was at, I was only there for 3 months. And then the other suite in front of me where I'm at now opened up. And I liked it because they had windows, they had its own private entrance and stuff. And I was like, I talked to the landlord and he's like, yeah, it's available. It's only like $100-something more. I'm like, give me that. And it's bigger. So I got that and set it by myself. And it was like, it was split already, right? So there was like a fake wall with a pocket door. And so my wife does nails, and she's did nails for years, you know, and she was working at a nail salon in the mall. And I told her, you know, why don't you little by little, you know, start, you know, you can set up on that side and then tell all your clients, you know, that you're going to be probably open up on your own and da-da-da. She was scared, obviously, like anybody would. But, I mean, it worked out.
It's always scary in the beginning. It's it's hard to take that first leap.
Yeah, for sure.
well, when you're used to getting a paycheck and then you have to make your own paycheck, that's
Well,
scary.
from living something that's constant, that you're going to get secured to now something that's going to be from your own doing, it's scary.
But let me
it's
tell you
different.
something. Life is built, or success is built in
Taking on
risks.
chances, of course.
But it's different for him, I think, because you started really young.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing it on his own already.
Exactly.
For her, it was
so
just
I
like,
think that's the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, I think, like since I started at a young age, like I grew up quick because, like I said, at 15 I started working at a barbershop. I'm working with people who are
older.
mid-20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So it's like I'm a young buck.
You
15
never
years old,
acted your age,
you know what I mean?
even when we
Yeah.
grew up with him.
No,
You
I mean,
never
I
acted your age.
always kind of had to because it's like out of the cousins, the only real cousins around my age were like the girls.
Yeah.
So boys is like Jerry and my
Yeah.
cousin Gilbert and all of them, and they're 5 years plus older than me. So it's like I had a, you know, kind of
Fit in somewhere.
yeah, you know, always, you know, not blend in, but like I'm always myself. But you know, obviously, like there's a place and time for everything. You know,
could
like
adapt
obviously I'm
with
gonna be a
certain
jokester.
Yeah.
Even though I am a jokester at some funerals, you know what I mean? But like, at some, you know, funerals supposed to be serious, and even though, you know, you still gotta...
You always
know what I
got
mean?
to shed some light to
Yeah,
you know.
so it's like I'm always
situations like
myself,
that.
and there's, I know who to be a jokester around at certain times and be serious and be quiet and...
I always said,
Sleep
you know,
behind.
you observe and then you conquer. And you observe to just read the room, read the people, read your surroundings, and then you do what you got to do to make it better.
Yeah, and I feel like that helped me through my life from barbering, because like barbering, I was like, I didn't go to school for it, honestly.
Yeah.
I got my license, threw away.
But aside from barbering, I want to speed it up a little bit. Aside from barbering, I know that you also do this thing called SMP. Can you explain a little bit about that and how you got into it?
Yeah, so Scalp Micro Pigmentation, SMP for short, is a cosmetic, non-invasive
procedure.
Tattoo procedure, pretty much. So it's like kind of like microblading. A lot of people know what microblading is now, where they do the impression of the eyebrows for women and men. But it's more of like a dotting technique to where it mimics the hair follicle, like new growth, like coming in. So it's people who are, fully bald or in the process, or they went through hair transplant procedure and they're not happy with it. They want more density or hormonal issues or scars, whatever the case may be. They could kind of camouflage that and make it look fuller and better. So I got into that because I started cutting hair at a young age. I was kind of capped out. So from barbering, is like I became a barber, became a barbershop owner. I was an educator for a couple of brands. Did platform work at like all these big hair shows, taught in front of hundreds of stylists and barbers. So it's like I've kind of done it all. And I feel like you could only raise your price so much until people are going to like, what the F? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, I could raise my price to like $100, and yes, you are gonna find that clientele for that. I can start charging $1,000, and yes, I might lose all my clients and start from scratch, but it's like you'll find clientele for that. Just like how there's Kias, there's Bugattis.
Yeah.
You're gonna find your clientele. You just gotta make yourself.
Yeah.
People see the quality and the service, and
Because you let the work speak for itself.
Yeah. But I was done cutting hair. It was like 15 years. So at 30,
What got you into
SMP? So I saw SMP back in like I think 2018, 2019. But I was so busy cutting hair that I was just like I just saw it and it looked cool. I didn't really understand it. And 2020 happened, COVID. So I was forced to shut down. I remodeled my shop and I was just like, damn.
What
do I do?
Yeah.
And I saw a buddy of mine online. He posted. He was like practicing, and I was like, yo. Where'd you go to learn this? Like, how can I like get into this and stuff like that? And he gave me the dude's contact. I got into, I got into it. And like I told you, once I get into something, it's like I get into it. So I got into it that year. I did 2 classes that I paid for to learn. So that right there was like $10,000 to learn, aside from other little equipments that I got and all that. And I just connected everything that I knew that I learned from barbering, I applied it to the SMP. So I already knew I need to hit up the big people. So I hit up the big people. I got in contact with people in Italy, Australia, Brazil, Philippines, like worldwide, legit. And obviously everybody
that been
in
doing
the States.
SMP for some time.
Yeah, I've been doing it for at least a couple years that I like their work, that look different, got on forums and stuff, and legit just started practicing on the melons and then on people, and then I would FaceTime them because they were also on lockdown and they had nothing else to do. So it was like I was blessed with them giving me the time to be like,
to show you.
Yeah,
Of course.
And then 2021, I flew to California. I helped out a friend with one of his classes, and which he didn't charge me for, which like I'm grateful for. I just had to pay for my flight, hotel, which I did with points. And yeah, from there, like I stopped cutting hair. Officially, I hung up the clippers, I think 2020 or 21. And then I just started focusing on SMP. I did a couple of my classes on my own. My first class, I did it with a good friend of mine, which he's a heavy hitter in the SMP game. His name's Chris, the Art of SMP. Shout out to him. I did a big, nice class here in West Palm. I flew him out from Maryland. And I think if it would have continued doing it the way I was doing it, it definitely would one of the nicest class in SMP in general. And I can say that with full confidence because I follow everybody. And I'm pretty sure everybody in that class would say the same. It was like one of the nice ones.
Some of your clips.
It was held at the Bend. So it's like that right there is one of the nicest hotel with food, like nice ass food. I'm not talking about just pizza, like it was nice food, nice views. The ambiance was nice. So it was like it was
a
really
good
nice.
experience.
Really great experience for them.
The band is dope too. It's nice.
And I always try anything that I do. I always try to obviously not go over the top and like show out, but I always try to make it look nice and different. And like I always try anything different that I like. Like I'm a real easy guy to sell to. All you gotta tell me is like, hey, this is a 1-on-1. I'm gonna be like, fuck. Like,
I need that.
yeah, like how can I make this work to try to get it? You know what I mean? And it's like I just like to be different. I like things that like a lot of people don't have.
Where did you get this work ethic from?
Work
like
ethic?
the hustle mentality from your mom or your dad?
Who's the influence? in the
Yes,
family?
yes.
That's kind of an interesting question because from my dad's side, they're all hardworking. Like they're all, your typical, typical Dominican, like hands,
I was
carpentry work.
able to meet a few, and they had me cracking up.
Yeah, so it's like,
No, they're funny.
so like they work with their hands and stuff. So I know a little bit about everything when it comes to, like my family could legit build your house from the floor up, And I can say that confidently because I have an uncle. He had a house in Jersey that he built his whole second floor.
My New Jerseyan.
Yeah. Well, he's here now. But work ethic, I would say both sides, because my mom's side of the family, they're more like business people. Especially my grandparents, like they came from nothing and then created a business and they're successful on that end, on that end. And then my dad's side is they hands-on work, and they had their 9 to 5, but then they also had their little side gigs and they would make money and this.
So
and that.
they both kind of like
So
gave
both.
you like the.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
both. Like I told you, I'm a very observant person.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then my mom, she used to clean houses and stuff, and she used to work for the people in Palm Beach that, especially during this time, is like you kind of gotta be there like all day, every day. And so it's like from both, I would say, man, it's like I always knew that like you gotta work for whatever you want. That's why I started cutting hair at a young age, because it's like I'm blessed. I wasn't like I feel like I never struggled, right? But I always wanted the Jordans. I always wanted, nice things, my flip phone and all that stuff. And it's like I felt like at 12, kind of like you guys said, like I kind of grew up fast. So I feel like at 12 is like, hey, I can't ask my mom for this. You know what I mean? Like if I
But
want
you
it,
didn't
I gotta
depend
get
on
it.
them for it. You were getting it on your own.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of cut it.
But
here
at
and-
that young age is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us. I wasn't even thinking like that.
there. I mean,
You see what I'm
kinda-
saying?
Yeah.
Work wise, I was.
No, like
Work-wise,
because
I
your
wasn't.
dad was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
making you cut grass,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this,
yeah.
a house. Cause
So work wise, I was.
Yeah.
But as far as like that entrepreneurship,
no.
no, it didn't start for me very young.
not at 12, 13. No
And
way.
then-
Yo siempre era charlatán para eso.
Yeah, I was always a clown. I wasn't that mature to be like, yo, let me make my money to do.
But I've known Anthony for bro, since you were little.
Wait, how old when you first met him? How old was he?
Anthony?
I
He had
wasn't cutting hair.
No, I'm saying
No.
he had to be like what 10,
Well,
15.
I was just for everybody. I dated his cousin in high school, and he was at that time. At that time, I was like, definitely not. No, definitely not.
Heart.
No, but I met Anthony when you were like 9.
Nah, can't be that young.
You were young.
You were in
bro.
Okehili, right?
Nah, I had to be in middle school.
You were in Okehili.
I think you were in middle school, but you were young. Either in 6th grade or 7th
I
grade.
remember
or something.
picking him up on Okehili at that Wendy's.
Yeah, I picked him up. I remember.
Ah,
I remember.
So you're in the Camry.
That's how long. That's how long ago
I
it
used to
was.
live at the reserve.
So I would say like 11 maybe.
You were 10, 11.
10, 11.
I
So,
lived at the reserve.
yeah. But he remembers the Camry. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I remember picking him up, bringing him to his mom's
You guys
house.
keep on mentioning the Camry.
Yeah,
There must have been lots of stories.
That was
of
like a
Camry.
Lexus back then, bro.
Yeah,
It was hooked up.
well, I hooked it up a lot.
And he used to love when we used to pick him up. He was like mad excited.
Wait, are you picking me up in the Camry?
Yeah.
So, but just to give everybody an insight, that's how Anthony came in our lives. We hung out like
Yeah.
that.
I met him through them because he dated his
Yeah.
cousin.
But then,
Okay.
So you see why I grew up fast? I was
But
getting
wait,
abducted at 10
I
years
also
old
dated
in a
the
Camry.
sister.
yeah, the sister. But then after we broke up, me and Anthony didn't get in contact, and then we reconnected back when he was working in the barbershop.
No, I think I reconnected with him. I think we started hanging out with Jerry, and we would go out to
I was already hanging out with Jerry.
Boulevard, and we'll do things like that, and
Yeah.
then he'll start coming around.
Okay.
Like I knew him from the beginning. We'll hang out, we'll pick him up from school, but we never hung out. And then when he got a little older, obviously I knew his cousin because he was older, so we were hanging out.
Yeah.
And then he started coming around when he got a little older, and that's when we started chilling.
Yeah.
But he's been in our lives though.
Like
Like
that time
since,
he had a blue little Lexus.
who?
You.
Blue Lexus.
Yeah. You forgot the Baez 300. Like he forgot about. He has like
It was white.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
white.
The white
No,
one.
the
I wasn't
blue-
around
Honda.
yet, so I
The
can't
blue
tell you.
was,
The blue Honda.
Honda.
I'm thinking about the blue
No,
Honda.
we're talking
Out
about
of the 18
Civic.
cars?
Yeah. You know, this guy had cars for days, bro.
Yeah, he has like
He had
50
his own-
cars, bro.
He had his own dealership, I
I
swear.
should have opened a dealer.
Yeah, but
Well, Anthony, I know recently you went through something very traumatic in your life. And on a serious note, I want to first congratulate you because of what you went through. A lot of people won't be able to succeed mentally, I would say, and physically. But for some reason, you know, you did. And I salute you for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you like to speak on it a little bit? Que lo que, mi gente? It's your boy Jay from the House of Kings podcast. Yes, it's a to be continued, but no worries, relax. The second part of this episode will be launched January 20th at 12 p.m. So see you then. And please, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.